What's up, everybody? I'm Aaron, this is the Talk Cave, and welcome to Talking Points. So what's up, everyone? I'm glad you can join me for another informative episode of Talking Points. Of course, I'm your main man, Aaron. This is the Talk Cave, like I said in the intro. So anyway, let's get on to talking about today's episode. I'll go over last week's video rollout, which we had a great time filming. Also be talking about the recent upswing in Star Wars merch being brought out and what seems to be the most interesting merch coming to stores across the country. I'll also be announcing this week's Mobile Game Madness game. Stay tuned to see how that's going to turn out. I'll also be discussing last week's and this week's talking point, and finishing up the video as always with a little bit of information for you. So anyway, now that I've got this intro finished up, let's get to talking. So last week, Josh and me took to Minecraft, kind of in the beginning of the week. We decided we'd go ahead and build for you a cobblestone generator, and Josh added on to it by making a harvester on it. It turned out pretty good. I think everything's working pretty fine with it. If you want to learn how to do that, watch the video. It was an interesting contraption. I have to say it was not, it's not a hard build. Anybody could really do it. We hope you can put it to use if you want to. We also started working on an airplane build. Josh was working on something along the side of it while I was doing most of the airplane work. He had to come in and help me kind of actually build because I'm not too good at building circles. Yeah, long story short, I have to have them on a flat plane. Sorry, no pun intended there. I just realized that. We also followed that up with our live game talk of Final Fantasy VII, which it'll probably air later on in the month, maybe in a couple of weeks. We should be, but anyway, you got to see the third episode of that come out, which Josh pretty much did some wicked squats and worked on his thighs and glutes there, and his grand prize for completing the squats was a pretty blonde wig. Yeah. I'm not touching that subject. Also, we did some more farming a la Harvest Moon, and we also ended the week with Josh raging during Donkey Kong Country, long week, and me raging yet again in my Let's Play of Rogue Legacy. Yeah, that game really drives me to the breaking point. There is very few games that have ever done that to me, and that one just, yeah. So anyway, stay tuned. Tune in this week. Watch us do our Let's Plays and see which one of us will end up turning into the Incredible Hulk first. One of us is going to be willing to smash something. So let's go ahead and move on to this new little thing I wanted to talk to everybody about, which was the recent Force Friday Star Wars merch reveal. God, try saying that 3 times fast. About a week ago, Disney released an announcement that all new Star Wars merchandise would be coming out for a special reveal called the Force Friday. All major retailers would have these sales. All of them would have something interesting. Most fans were excited about this one product that I got to see, which was the new RC droid BB-8. If you don't remember, BB-8 was the soccer ball with a camera on top of it that was rolling through the trailer. Yeah, they've got an RC version of that now. I got to see a few models of that in action through some live Let's tests on YouTube, and I have to say they look pretty amazing. I also got to see the recently released Blade Factory Build Your Own Lightsaber kit. It's also made by Hasbro. Hasbro does a lot of the Star Wars stuff. It was priced at $50, but it's a neat little kit with multiple different types of saber builds. I've demonstrated this before, or I've played with this before at Disney World, and now that they're releasing this as a kit, it's kind of neat. They also released a Kylo Ren edition lightsaber, which has the spring-loaded hilt sabers. That was pretty neat playing with that. There's also a Millennium Falcon RC quadcopter, which I thought was amazing, but at $90 to $100, that just seems like overkill for an RC helicopter. I'm sorry. That's moving into that high-end stuff now, which takes it from being a toy to being a hobby. There was a ton of action figures which also came out. Made me nerd the hell out, as always. If you get a chance, go check some of this stuff out. Check some of this merch out at any of your local retailers. They almost everybody's carrying it right now, so it was pretty interesting to see what they came out with. A lot of action figures with a lot of weird armor builds too. So check it out. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and that'll be it for the Star Wars segment. So now we'll move on to this week's Mobile Game Madness game. This week's game is Dungeon Boss. Dungeon Boss is a 3D side-scrolling dungeon crawler made by Big Fish Games for Android and iOS systems. God, I have put a lot of tongue twisters in this today. I hope you're enjoying this. The game is entertaining from start, but you quickly realize that if you aren't willing to shell out some real money, it gets kind of challenging and gets to where you're having to deal with running out of time or running out of moves, so to speak, or energy. There are also some major server issues, or minor server issues, not major, minor. But aside from that, there are very few issues in which I've had with the game. The financial issue and the server issue, that doesn't really kill a game for me. Because I've played games that had really horrible servers that, basically crash the game every time, and yeah, I'm not playing anything like that. I like its general gameplay and its fun and innovative style of team building and dungeon crawling. I mean, that just, to me, says, hey, this is fun and exciting, and yeah, we're going to be doing this. I literally, I couldn't put the game down while I was playing it. It kept me on board for a good 15 minutes before I noticed some connection issues. So, again, that connection issue kind of slowed me down a little bit, and, I mean, other than that, I would recommend this game for fans of dungeon crawling RPGs. My final score on this, however, will be a 3 out of 5. Even though it sounded great by me telling you this, it has great graphics, great gameplay, but with a limited amount of playing time, again, moving into that freemium style of playing time, and, the server issues, I really could not feel 100% on giving you something, giving the game a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. If they fix these issues, maybe I could see revisiting this and giving it a better score, but until then, you're getting a 3 out of 5 there, Dungeon Boss. So anyway, yeah, Dungeon Boss, check it out. It's on Android and iOS, like I said earlier. Fun little game. So now let's move on to what everybody here is wanting to see, which is this week's talking points. As you know, each week we ask you, the viewers, to answer a question in return for your name on the digital screen. Or, at least coming out of these fine lips right here. So, on to last week's talking point, which was, what was your favorite racing game? For me, it was Need for Speed Underground, and I also meant to say Kinetica. Kinetica, being a futuristic racing game, was kind of fun. So now we'll get on to our favorite segment, which is the Fanswers. I think I've got Phil in here hovering around, so if she pops up on stage, just be prepared. For our Fanswers, we had Travis, who wrote Diddy Kong Racing. It stunk, but I loved it for N64. Jen writes, Need for Speed in general. I've played a bunch of them and I like them all. I also like that old pod racing game for the N64. Or whatever it was. Yeah, that was, I think, Super Bombad Racing or the Star Wars Pod Racer game. I can't remember. Yeah, being a Star Wars nerd, this is bad for me because I can't remember it. But, anyway, Will writes, I don't have a favorite, honestly. Okay, thanks, Will. Joey writes, N64 San Francisco Rush. It was all-time favorite. Joey? Dude, are you part of the KGB? Because, that's Russian English there. Emily who's giving her first time commenting on here, says Burnout. Thank you, Emily. I've heard that game is pretty interesting. I've never played it, but hey, Burnout. Taylor writes Need for Speed Underground 2, where I learned it was okay to be a racer. Hey, whatever sails your schooner there. I'll stick with my, I don't know. I'm not big in cars, so I mean, I fit in a car, but I'm not big into them, Alex writes, Gran Turismo 2. It's one of my first, and I got way into it. So, yeah, I mean, I played Gran Turismo 2. It was a fun game. And Noah writes, Need for Speed. Any of them. So he likes the whole series. So, thank you, Noah. That was awesome. And for the team answers, I already gave you mine earlier, so we'll go ahead and move on to Josh and Misty. Wow, I totally just drew a blank on their names, and I work with them. That's bad. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. Anyway, Josh says Need for Speed Underground 2, while Misty says Need for Speed Underground. So she likes the original. Josh likes the other one for the Overworld hub. We had a discussion about this after I had made the announcement, and he said the Overworld hub was pretty cool, where you could just continue to ride around in your car, and yeah. That sounds pretty cool to me too, so never got to play it. I liked 1, so that was my game there, and Connecticut was always interesting for me too, so it was a PS2 game. If you get a chance and you got a PS2 and you can find a copy, try it out. Now let's move on to this week's talking point, which is, what is your favorite simulation, sim game or combat simulation game? For me, I have to say MechWarrior 2. It was my all-time favorite, combat sim. It made me feel like I was actually inside one of the battle mechs from the BattleTech series. And it had an awesome story. I mean, you basically were fighting for control of Earth. Or for the freedom of Earth. Depending on if you were Jade Falcon or the Wolf Clan. Yeah, you could also play around with the clans on there too. Put your little clan tag up on your mech. That was pretty awesome. So, anyway, let us know in the comments below or on our Facebook and Twitter pages for, what your answer is, and we'll give you a shout out. So anyway, I believe that wraps up this episode here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Check out the merch shop. We've got stuff on there still. I think. Yeah. You can also check out our also make sure you stay tuned for our pretty cool little team trip that's coming up in October 3rd and 4th to Soda City Comic Con. If you'll be there, or if you want to know what we'll be doing there, stop by and see us there at the convention. We'll be walking around. You can recognize my mug, and you can recognize Josh's mug. We'll also have a couple of business cards, I think. Hopefully we'll have them by then. So make sure you stop by and talk with us. We'll do an interview for you, put you on the channel, and boom. Also, make sure you support our extralife.org charity event, which we're working with right now. We're trying to raise money for MUSC Children's Hospital through the Children's Miracle Network. They've done amazing things for the children in the Low Country and South Carolina community, which I'm a resident of that area, and Josh is a resident of that area. Hell, most of our viewers are, so, they've done a lot. You can find the links for everything that I described in the past 3 or 4 minute monologue in the description below. You can also stay tuned for our 24-hour live Let's Play on November 7th for extralife.org. I believe that'll be held right here on our YouTube channel or maybe on Twitch. And also check out our live Let's Play every 2 p.m. Eastern Time here on our channel. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.